The major prophets: power, collapse, and moral imagination. After history records power, the prophets question it. These texts arise when structure fails, when authority hardens, and when survival no longer guarantees meaning. The prophetic voice does not predict the future, it exposes the present. The major prophets speak into moments of crisis. They address misuse of power, neglect of the vulnerable, erosion of responsibility, and collapse of trust between leaders and people. Their language is not philosophical, it is relational and concrete. Cities, bodies, fields, rulers, widows, orphans, exile, and return fill their speech. Meaning is tied to action and consequence. The prophets do not ask what people believe. They ask how people live. Prophetic speech is visual, embodied, and disruptive. Images replace arguments. Metaphor replaces explanation. This is not poetry for comfort. It is language meant to interrupt complacency. Exaggeration, shock, and repetition are used to break denial and restore attention. The goal is not fear. It is awareness. Isaiah speaks from the tension between vision and failure. He holds together the possibility of restoration and the reality of injustice. Hope is never detached from responsibility. Promise is never separated from behavior. Renewal does not come through ritual alone, but through care for the vulnerable and restraint of power. Vision here is ethical imagination, the ability to see what life could become if alignment were restored. Jeremiah speaks from within collapse. His voice is marked by grief rather than triumph. He warns not to dominate, but because he sees consequences approaching. Resistance reveals a central truth. Truth is often rejected when it threatens comfort. Warning does not guarantee change. Sometimes awareness arrives too late to prevent loss, but not too late to preserve memory. Ezekiel speaks from exile. Land, temple, and stability are gone. Orientation is lost, and imagery intensifies. Vision replaces geography. The concern here is not punishment, but continuity. Can responsibility exist without structure? Can meaning continue without familiarity? Daniel presents a different posture. Rather than public confrontation, it models internal alignment under external domination. Empires rise and fall. What endures is not dominance, but discernment, restraint, and refusal to surrender conscience. In this project, the major prophets are not read as coded predictions of distant futures. They are read as moral diagnostics, crisis literature, and voices responding to collapse. Their relevance is structural, not chronological. The major prophets speak when history fractures. They confront power, mourn loss, and imagine repair. They show that collapse is not sudden. It is preceded by ignored warnings and normalized injustice. Their language preserves moral clarity when systems fail. When structure hardens, the prophetic voice breaks it open, not to destroy, but to make space for responsibility to return.